Good morning, AP historians. Today is Wednesday, February 17th, and I'm here because we have a very important assignment today, and it's posted a little bit late because I had to reinvent the wheel. So I've been up reinventing the wheel. A couple of reminders. AMSCO reading questions 6.4, 6.5, and 6.6 are due tomorrow and by 3 p.m. So please make sure that you get those started and get those submitted by the end of the school day tomorrow. Today we're going to be using documents to support your argument. And I want to walk you through a couple of things and help you to understand before you begin the activity. This week we were set to begin learning how to write our document-based question, and so today I'm just going to walk you through using documents for purpose, point of view, historical situation, or intended audience. In the document-based question, you will be doing this for at least 3 documents, and you are required with 3 documents to explain how or why the document's point of view, purpose, historical situation, and or audience is relevant to an argument. I know that sounds like a lot, but it is not, because you're going to receive 7 documents on your exam, and then you'll utilize 3 of those for this particular point. So our example is going to be using purpose to explain how or why the document is relevant to the argument. And the first thing that we'll need to do is read our prompt and dissect our prompt. So using the documents and your knowledge of world history, evaluate the extent to which African indigenous states, nations, reacted to various types of European intrusion. The first thing that you have to do is dissect the prompt. So ask yourself, what information am I looking for as I read the documents? I'm looking for my verbs. So I'm evaluating, which means to judge how little or how much something is occurring. Who am I looking for? I'm looking at the African indigenous states, and I'm also going to be looking at the European government or the European people that intruded on those African indigenous states. And then I'm looking for the reaction to the intrusion by the Europeans. And I'm going to ask myself, is it a violent or a nonviolent reaction? What types of resistance existed? Who resisted or who accepted? And how was this reaction resisted or accepted? All right, so we're going to take a look at document 1, and we're going to reading and summarizing the documents. Number 1, we're going to read the document, especially the source, and this helps us to realize the purpose, point of view, historical situation, and or intended audience. The second thing that we're going to be do is be prepared to use the summary of the document within our paragraph. Never, ever, ever are we going to quote the document in any way. We want to show understanding, so that's why we never quote the document. The task is to use the document to explain how or why this document answers the prompt. So our prompt is, using the documents and your knowledge of world history, evaluate the extent to which African indigenous states reacted to various types of European intrusion. And we're going to use documents 1 and 2 as our example. All right, so this is document 1. And document 1, this is our first example, is the source is I'm going to read the document source, and the document source is the Royal Niger Company. It's commissioned by the British government to administer and develop the Niger River Delta and the surrounding areas. It's a standard form signed by multiple African rulers in 1886. So basically, this document is a contract giving the Royal Niger Company permission to develop the Niger River Delta and its surrounding areas. It's a legal document from the British government. So the summary of the document, basically it says that the undersigned chiefs, so that's a blank, with the view to bettering our country and the people, do this day cede to the Royal Niger Company forever the whole of our territory extending, which these are left blank so that they can fill them in. And then we pledge ourselves, this is we being the indigenous people, pledge ourselves not to enter into any war with other tribes without the sanction of the Royal Niger Company. The said Niger Company bind themselves not to interfere with any of the native laws or customs of the country consistently with the maintenance of order and good government. The said Royal Niger Company agreed to pay native owners of land a reasonable amount for any portion they may require, and to pay the said chiefs blank measures native value. So the chiefs, in that blank there, affix their mark of their own free will and consent, and then they do it in triplicate. That means they have copies. So what's this summary all about? So this is that the leaders give up control of their region. They agree not to enter into wars with neighboring tribes without permission from the Royal Niger Company. The Royal Niger Company agrees not to interfere in native laws or customs as long as there is order and good government from the leaders. And the RNC agrees to pay the natives a reasonable amount for their land. A measure is any amount of money, and the chiefs sign and the contract is dated. So now I'm going to take that summary and that source, and I'm going to incorporate it into a paragraph that is an example of purpose of the document. Here's the paragraph that I wrote. After the Berlin Conference in 1884, British companies needed legal agreements for permission to extract resources from the newly acquired regions of Africa. The Royal Niger Company created a generic contract to present to the various African tribal leaders in which they agreed to give up their land for an agreed upon price and not go to war with neighboring nations without the permission of the Royal Niger Company. In return, the Royal Niger Company agreed not to interfere in native laws or customs so long as the African leaders maintained order within the indigenous nation. And so this is a paragraph, this is an example of the purpose of a document. In other words, this is sort of setting the stage, giving the British permission to come in and basically take over African regions. Okay, this is our second example using document number 2, and our source is Prempeh 1. He's an Ashanti leader, and he is responding to a British officer of protectorate status in West Africa in 1891. The suggestion that Ashanti in its present state should come and enjoy the protection of Her Majesty the Queen of England and Empress of India is a matter of serious consideration. I am pleased to announce that we have arrived at the conclusion that my kingdom of Ashanti will never commit itself to any such policy. Ashanti must remain as of old and at the same time remain friendly with all white men. So my source is Prempeh I, an Ashanti leader, and the summary is his reaction or response to the British offer of protectorate status for West Africa. That's his is the Ashanti Kingdom, which is now modern Ghana. He is obviously flattered by the offer to come under the protection of the British government, but concludes that the Ashanti will reject the offer, but remain friendly with the British government and Europeans. So here's the sample paragraph to explain the historical significance of the source or the POV or the purpose or the historical situation or the intended audience. This could be an example of purpose or POV. As the British continued to take more and more control of the African regions carved out at the Berlin Conference in 1844, there was subtle resistance to British encroachment from indigenous leaders. Prempeh I, the leader of the Ashanti, reacted diplomatically but firmly to the offer from the British government to become a protectorate. Prempeh I, as the leader of the Ashanti, has the authority to reject the British offer because he believes the Ashanti must maintain the traditional ways but remain cordial for the time to the British intrusion and attempts at control of the Ashanti kingdom. So he can say this because he is the leader, and you have already established that here in the leader of the Ashanti. So this is his point of view or his purpose or his authority. Okay, your documents 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 have been divided into small groups. You are each doing your own paragraph. It's not a group activity. It's the actual paragraph will be your own, but will come together in a large group of 8 of you or 7 of you to go over what you have said. So we'll do that tomorrow, hopefully. So period 2, you can see how it's assigned document 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Period 2, again, assigned as individuals, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If I misspelled anybody's name, I'm terribly sorry. If I've forgotten anyone, you need to let me know. Again, period 4, assigned by document. Period 5, assigned by document. And period 6, assigned by documents. You are going to have questions. I understand that. And if you do, you need to reach out to me. I will post an open Zoom drop-in for those of you that have questions. Please use that time period as that drop-in time to discuss any concerns that you have about the assignment.